Hi guys, and welcome back to my Real Life on Social Security series. So we're just going to talk about the type of food that you will be able to buy if you don't save for your retirement and have a little nest egg saved up. Because if you do not have that extra money, you will end up having to go to food banks and food pantries to survive. But before we get into that, I want to welcome everyone back here today and welcome to all of my new subscribers. My channel is growing by leaps and bounds, and that's only because of y'all and the interest that you show in my content. So if there's something that you want to know about or want to hear me talk about, or even if you just want me to tell some stories about, just leave me a comment below and I will take that into consideration. So if you're just passing through, please hit the subscribe button and y'all go ahead and give me a thumbs up and let's get to going here. So like I've said before, I never saved any money. I was very derelict in my duties as being a good steward of my money. So I suffer from that today. I have been on disability for many years. I became disabled in the 1990s. And I started drawing a small Social Security disability check. At that time, I think it was around maybe $600 or $700 a month. And of course, throughout the years, I did get the cost of living increases. And y'all know from experience that those don't amount to very much. But I was thankful for what I did get. And I just managed and did the very best that I could. And oftentimes, that was not even good enough. But I still did what I could to raise my family and feed my 3 children that I had to raise after John and I got a divorce. And through struggling like that, it's impossible to save even $1. So I do, think that a lot of my circumstances were because of my problems in my life with being married to an alcoholic and not having a good, stable home life or the opportunity to save and invest for the future. My jobs were sporadic here and there and short-term usually, no more than 2 or 3 or 4 years at one job. So I never was able to stay at a job long enough to build up any type of pension. So I just want to talk about today some of the things that I do to survive on Social Security. From my earlier videos back a year and a half ago, I was surviving only on Social Security income, and it was very difficult. I had been doing caretaking, and that got to where I just could not physically perform those duties anymore because I was having to lift, a heavy man that weighed 180 pounds, and I ended up with a gastric volvulus where my diaphragm actually ruptured and my stomach came through and was pressing on my heart, and it was very, very difficult to live with that because I had to continue to take care of this man for 3 months while his daughter looked for a replacement for me because I had to have several months off from the job to have the surgery and then recover from it. So because of those reasons, I really can't do any type of caregiving job anymore. So I ended up having to survive on Social Security only, and my rent was $580 a month. And it was very, very difficult. And then I started watching YouTube. I was at home all the time, not doing much of anything, and just watching YouTube. And I came across Deborah Joy, and she was living in Tank. And she was living on Social Security disability only also and struggling. And I really felt a connection with her. And I learned a lot from listening to her. She has a lot of great ideas and a lot of good stories to tell. So during that time, I had to go to food banks and food pantries and stand in line. And in the New Jersey winters, it gets pretty cold out there waiting in a long line for food. And sometimes you don't even get proper food, but you're thankful for what you do get because that does keep you from starving to death. So I'm going to show you some of the items that I do receive from food pantries, and you'll see that it's mostly canned items. I got this can of Stokely's mixed vegetables. So you will definitely get a can of mixed vegetables when you go to get your bag of food. And you will get another can of Stokely's mixed vegetables. And then I got some Margaret Home seasoned collard greens. Now I'm going to doctor these up, y'all. I'm going to saute me some onions and garlic and fix them up with some bacon grease, and they're going to taste just like they came out of the garden. And then I got 2 cans of Campbell's low sodium tomato soup. And I did eat this for my dinner the other night with some Ritz crackers, and it was delicious, and it filled me up. It was enough for my dinner. And what's better than tomato soup and a grilled cheese? You know, years ago, you used to be able to get the government cheese. You would get like a big old round piece, or I don't know what it was called, or just a big round chunk of government cheese, y'all. And that government cheese is so good. Oh, goodness. When I was, my friend and I, Ann, we would go visit her aunt who lived in Philadelphia, Mississippi, and she worked at the Navajo Indian Reservation, and or is it Neshoba Indians? It's Neshoba County, so I guess that's the Indian Reservation there in Neshoba County. And she would bring home some of the USDA foods that they were given, and she had this big old round chunk of cheddar cheese, and Ann and I would slice it and put it on bread and put it on a metal pan, and then we would stand in front of the gas heater, and that's how we toasted our cheese toast. And y'all, that government cheese is the best. I don't know how they make it or where they make it or where they grow the cows that they get the milk from, but it is so good. But you don't get that cheese nowadays, or I haven't. I've never gotten cheese. I very seldom get anything that is refrigerated. Once in a while we would get a frozen pizza that Walmart donated, or Sam's Club, or we would get a whole chicken, a fresh chicken that was frozen. I really don't remember getting much more meat than that from the food pantry there in Asbury Park when I used to go on a regular basis. But you do usually get a container of the milk. This is shelf stable milk. So it's not good to me to drink, so I usually cook with it. And it's certainly good to have on hand if you run out of milk and you have a baby in the house. You could use that shelf stable milk. And then I got this can of sliced carrots. Y'all, I want to make a chicken pot pie one day on video, and I will definitely use those sliced carrots in the chicken pot pie, and probably the mixed vegetables too. And then I got a can of crushed tomatoes. This is usually a staple in a food pantry, so you will be getting this too. And I even got a can of sardines. And also you'll usually get a couple of cans of tuna, which is awesome. Tuna is so good for you, and there's so much that you can do with it. Make casseroles with it, and usually get pasta. Or you can just buy pasta cheap. Even the store brand is usually like 99 cents or something. My phone cut off because the storage ran out, and now I can't even get the angle reset on it, but maybe that's better. So my point here is to just make sure that you max out your 401k. Just put as much money in it as you can, and try to save money as much as you can. Y'all have been telling me about this Fire Stick thing for the TV, so I'm going to look into that, because basic cable here on Long Island is about $90 a month. Lord, y'all, I can't afford that. I really only need Wi-Fi, and I only want just the local news stations. I don't really care about, of course I love HGTV and all of those shows, but I can manage with just ABC, NBC, and CBS. So if any of y'all know anything about that Fire Stick, or how it works, or how much it costs, it's an Amazon product, I believe. So I could even buy it from an Amazon store and then make a commission off of buying it for myself. Oh, y'all, don't go to my Amazon store right now. It is the biggest mess. Y'all, I had created all of these lists, and Jill kept saying, well, Mom, put this on it for me, and I'll order it. Things, clothes for the kids and exercise equipment for her. So I would put it in one of my lists, which it wasn't public, so then she couldn't see it. So then I ended up putting it in another list, like a food list or something. So I have got to have some time off and just spend that time off on my Amazon store and, get it up to par so I can start making commission off of that. That's going to be awesome. So anyway, I was just talking about what we have to live off of, on Social Security only. And if you're a widow or a single woman like me, your Social Security check's probably only going to be around $900 or $1,000 a month. And if you're lucky and your state permits it, you may qualify for Medicaid, which Medicaid will pay your Medicare insurance premium. I believe it's over $150 a month now. But if you don't qualify for Medicaid, then the Medicare premium is deducted from your little tiny Social Security check. Now, I know a lot of my younger subscribers don't realize this. I know I didn't realize it. I thought, well, I'll get enough for my Social Security. I've paid in thousands and thousands of dollars all the years that I worked, and of course it'd be enough for me to live off of. But no, it will not be enough for you to live off of. You're going to have to scrimp and scrape and stand in line for your cans and cans and cans of mixed vegetables. And I don't want y'all to have to live like that. I want you to have a good life, a comfortable life, and be able to have enough money in the bank to buy your food and to buy your medicine and put gas in your car, and to even be able to own a car, because owning a car nowadays is actually a luxury. It's no more a necessity. It's really a luxury because it does cost a lot of money. Even if you own an old car that's paid for, it's going to break down and need repairs. So I hope you enjoy my real life on Social Security. I did promise y'all that I would return to it as soon as I got myself settled. And although I'm not quite all the way settled yet, I'm sitting on the floor here, but I'm happy to have my apartment. It's beautiful. It's so clean and beautiful and fresh. And thank you for watching my videos and making my YouTube paycheck enough to where I can afford to pay the rent. So y'all please give me a thumbs up and share my videos, and y'all just keep on coming back. Good night, guys.